It's the Duffin Up Podcast.
All right, Duff Guys and Duff Mamas, we have a very, very special guest on for you this week. We have the man who is currently doing his best, trying to break par at pitch and putt, even though he's done it, but he's doing it again.
Awesome.
He's going to do it again. We have the man who one day will design a top 100 course in America. And of course, we have the one, the only, Ryan McHugh on our program tonight. Ryan, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys having me. This will be a good time.
First question out the gate: how many times have you broken par at pitch and putt?
I'm 6-5 all time. So
Wow.
a little over 50%.
Wow.
I don't even think I'm close. I think I'm 0 for 12. So you know what? Hey, you're beating us. That's all that matters on that side.
That's an awesome series. Like, it's such a tangible thing when you because you can pitch it, but how far is each hole, like, on average? Is there, 15-yard holes? Is there 100-yard holes? What's the average?
So the course I play the most has a pitch and putt. So that's the pitch and putt I play the most, obviously. It's 15 minutes away from my house. The shortest one's 48 yards. The longest one's 98 yards. But I get a ton of comments. People are like, bro, how do you not it's not that easy to break par at anything. People think it's for reference, my handicap right now is a little over 50% doing it. But I get comments and people are like, how do you not do that every time? And it's not that easy. No. Obviously, it's not possible, but it's if you're a 10, you're not going to go break par at pitch and putt. I'll bet my life on it. So it's and for some background, how that came to be, I play with my dad and my brother every Sunday. And the course I play, we normally play green knoll, and that's where the pitch and putt is. And I just played trash, and it was all my wedges, and I was pissed. So I was I'll just meet you guys home in 30 minutes. I'm going to go play the pitch and putt. And as I was playing, I wasn't recording or anything. I was just playing as actual practice, because it is really good practice. So I was walking, I'm like, let's see if I can break par here. And then I just was I'll go back next week and record. So that's kind of where that came from.
That's fantastic.
I mean, it's a genius series. It's an absolute genius series. And also, that is the one thing, the hateful comments also, I think, even make it better. Half the time when I get hate on videos, I'm this just makes it better, because it's people who don't even know what they're talking about. So it's great. Have you ever hit I want to say to them, have you ever even hit a 60-degree wedge? Do you know how hard it can be to hit a 60-degree wedge? It can be brutal.
Dude, I always tell people, if you're not good at chipping, don't use a 60-degree wedge. And people are you need one. I'm you really don't. And I have one in my bag now, but I didn't have one for 3 years. And the reason I didn't, I played with this guy in Bermuda. And I was probably a 10 at the time. And we were playing, he was a 10. We were all on a cruise, and I didn't know the guy. He actually ended up being from New Jersey. And that was one of the most fun rounds of golf I've ever played. He was buying shots. We were boozing pretty aggressively there. But before the match, let's play $1 a hole, whatever. And he was I'm a 10. I was I'm a 10. We were let's do it. And I chunked a shot on my 60. I was fuck this, fuck that. I fucking hate this club. He goes, dude, a month ago, I was doing the same thing, and my friend threw it in the lake for me. He goes, best decision I ever made. He goes, just don't use it the rest of the day. So I was all right. And I didn't use it the rest of the day. And then I was why do I even have this in my bag? There's no point. So I didn't even play one for 2-3 years. And now I do have one back in my bag, but I always say, I play good, I won't hit it. That's kind of the metric. People live and die by them. They're not easy to hit. You're just making it harder for yourself.
No, I have definitely learned to hit it a lot recently. So I used to have a 60-degree, a Cleveland wedge, obviously. Love Cleveland wedges. That's my go-to brand. That's my go-to brand for them.
All day.
I know I get a lot of hate because I say I don't really like Vogies and I like Cleveland over it. And people are just you just don't know good things. I'm I also like Odyssey putters over Scotty Cameron putters, and everyone gets mad at me for that too. So maybe I do like trash. That's okay to like trash. But anyways, I started playing. I got this 60-degree wedge, and it was a gift from my aunt and uncle when I was 22 as a college graduation present. And it was a 60-degree wedge with 12 ounce on it. And I was like, I cannot hit this club. I was like, I don't know how this exists. This is impossible. And so I literally just kept it in my bag for like 6 years. I never touched it. I got a new 60-degree wedge, I think like 2 years ago, and I've been using it, and it's a normal wedge. And I'm like, okay, this works now. Like now I can use it. But I definitely, Tim and I played with a couple other guys in a scramble, and there was one hole where I almost drove the green, and I took out my 60-degree wedge, and I should have used my 56 because I wanted to bump and run it, and it just stopped not on a dime, but it stopped pretty quickly. And I was like, shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that.
You know what I was thinking about when you said the yardages of those, what'd you say, 45 to 95 yards? I'm thinking about like when we're playing a short par 4, and I'm so guilty of this, and you can tell all these haters that it is not that easy. Think about like a short par 4, you drive the ball and you're somewhere between, you have a great drive, you're 60 yards out. So say it's a 370 yard hole, and you hit it 310, you're pumped, you hit it, awesome drive. How many times are you actually making par there? Because I know in my defense, or in your defense, as to how hard it is, how many people are getting up and down for not birdie, but for par. And I know I'm making bogey because I'm chunking that. I'm so pumped that I make that 310 yard drive, and I'm chunking it 10 feet. And then I got to get up and down for par. And I know I'm getting on the green and then 2-putting for a bogey. I mean, so basically every single hole you're playing is like a little par 3. But it's just so much art, because I'm sure the greens are way smaller than any other course. You know what I mean? I can't believe people are thinking it's that easy. Sorry, I'm stuck on this. But I appreciate how hard it is to do a pitch and putt in under par. And so 6 and 5 or 5 for 6, that's an incredible feat.
Yeah. Well, also with like a 50, 60 yard shot, like if you ask, I was watching like stuff with the pros, because TaylorMade does a lot of this stuff. They were saying Dustin Johnson's like, I don't practice 50 yard shots. He goes, if I'm laying up on a 5, he goes, I lay up to 80 yards. So it's like a weird number in general at 50 to 60. So like people are like, oh, I chunk this all the time, I really struggle with that number. Like it's because it's a hard number to hit.
Super.
I'm comfortable with it, but I don't like, if I'm playing pitch and putt off a turf mat, I'll hit a 6-degree wedge, 45 yards, whatever. But on real turf, like I hit a 56 degree off my front foot with like my weight forward, and I just put a little more on it than like I would with a chip. And that shot's fine, but I don't go like pin seeking on those, because if you try to go super high in the air with it, you could chunk it, you could blade it. Like so many things can go wrong, where it's like run one up, ideally be below the hole and give yourself a good look. Like you can't, I don't know, people try to chase birdies. Like it's not that easy to make a birdie. Birdies just kind of happen, where it's like, I always just focus on like get myself in a good position to make a par. And if I'm out of position, it's like give myself a chance to make a par. And if I'm not going to make a par, don't make a double bogey. So like pitch and putt's good because it gets you dialed in with those wedges, but on a course, like 50 yards out of rough is not an easy shot. You're not going to be able to spin it.
No.
If you try to open a 60 in the rough, you could get right under it. If it's sitting down, you're going to blade it. So like, I always just play those off my front foot and try to give myself a look. But people are like, oh, you should be making a birdie. It's like, not really. There are a lot of scenarios that can go wrong there.
Yep. Makes total sense.
Absolutely. Oh man, no, totally agree on that side. And I do think it's just like a course management thing too, because Lord knows I don't have any course management. I just kind of see ball, hip ball, and wherever it goes, it goes. But yeah, I do think like the importance of the short game, and I think Tim and I learned it too this past week. I think it's so much more important to practice your short game. And like you said, like 50 yards in, 60 yards in is kind of tough to practice because you're either in between clubs or you don't know exactly what shot you want to hit. But at the same time, I feel like when you get into those, it's very nice to be able to kind of pull out an old reliable. And everyone does, like you said, everyone wants to hit the 60 degree because they see how high it goes and they can spin and they want to try and spin it. I just think it's like whatever, like if you want to take out like a pitching wedge and you want to do basically just like a quarter swing or whatever you want to do, like I feel like it's all about feel, and it's all about just doing what you want to do on that shot.
Oh,
how far on your front foot are you putting that wedge?
so I'm a righty, so it'll be off my left heel.
Your left heel, okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing that for a little scoot and stop kind of thing?
Yeah, generally one hop checks up nicely and releases to the hole. Because like the other thing is, like, you'll watch Justin Thomas throw a dart, one hop and it'll stop on a dime next to the hole. Like, we can't do that. You know what I mean?
No shot.
We
No
can't do
shot.
that. So it's like, why even try? It's just not going to happen. And those guys also get new wedges every month. So the grooves on them are brand new and sharp. Like,
Amen.
and my wedges, I probably played 100 rounds in my wedges. Like, I don't think I physically could do that, let alone if I had the right equipment, I still couldn't do it.
I was about to say new wedges every month. They get it for every turn. Like, I feel like they get new wedges every tournament almost. Like, it's nuts. I remember we had Sarah on the podcast. Shout out Sarah. And she was like, yeah, you should probably switch out your wedges like every 6 months. I'm like, who are you, Moneybags McGee, to tell me that I can switch out my wedges every 6 months? And how do I do that?
Yeah, we're gonna drop $300 every month.
Jeez.
They're expensive. Shout out Cleveland wedges too. I'm a Cleveland guy, so
Are you?
Yeah, dude.
You're
yeah.
also Cleveland guys?
Yeah.
love them. I have the RTX 4s, the Tour Raw, so they're like all rusted out. Love them.
Gotcha. Those look good too. Those I do like the look of those as well. Yeah, I think I have the CTX for my 60. My 56 is old. Like, I mean, there's probably not a single groove that's still sharp on it, which is probably why I can play bump and run really well with it. But and then I just got, so I have those two, and then I have a 50-degree kind of Callaway approach attack wedge that I got with like my set. So it's those three. But yeah, I mean, Cleveland wedges are amazing. Like, I don't know why people say they're not. Like, I get it. Like, and like, we're from Massachusetts, so Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So like, obviously, like, Titleist is huge here. Like, Titleist is enormous. Like, it started here. But like, I just think like they're fine. They're good wedges, but like, I don't have the same feel, and I feel like they get too cute with like the grades and the bounces. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I don't know the difference between the M, the G, and the F. And if I have to look that up on my phone, I probably don't need it. So like, just give me a wedge.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Cleveland was the wedge to have because they were the holders of the technology, the zip groove, and everything like that. And so they were the beholder of this grand wedge that had these zip grooves that could take a ball and spin it back from, 25 yards back to the front of the green where the pin is. But then all of a sudden, the PGA Tour obviously outlawed the zip grooves and whatnot. So it kind of put all the other wedges on an even playing field. So Cleveland, it's not that they got worse. It's just that everyone else kind of moved up onto the same level. So it basically was like, what brand do you like better? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that kind of like how it got to be where it is now?
Is that true? I have no idea. I'll be
yeah. And
I'll be completely honest, I have no idea either. I just always really like Cleveland wedges, so that's why I played them.
Oh my God, I can't believe I knew all that.
That's impressive.
I remember playing in a league with this guy who was like a 30 handicap. He must have been, and super nice guy. His name's John, and he had the Cleveland wedges, and I had these old Slazenger wedges that I bought from a yard sale, whatever. And there was like 100-yard hole, and I could not hold the green. And obviously the greens were like rock hard or whatever. But this guy, 30 handicap, could just stick the green. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? He's spinning it back. And I look, and he's got the Cleveland. He's got these super nice zip grooves, and illegal now, obviously. And it makes so much sense. Then they outlawed them and whatnot. But yeah, Cleveland wedges. I was always, every time I played PGA Tour and created a character, I always put Cleveland wedges in the bag. I don't have them now, but they were the wedge to have back in the day, especially with those zip grooves.
I still play them.
All right, so Ryan, we got to tell the people about your flags.
All right, yeah.
People, so tell the people about the flags. What are they all about? If you look in the background, he has a Pinehurst #2 flag all framed and stuff. So Ryan, tell the viewers, the listeners about this flag situation you got going on.
So I got for the people not viewing this, I got a Pinehurst number 2 flag behind me on my right, and then on my left, I got an Erin Hills. So I buy flags at every top 100 course I play. I have a lot more, but just in those two, but those ones are in the frame. So that's kind of my go-to collection for golf. I mean, I totally buy shirts and shit there too, but the flags I display.
Of course.
So
The flag is a nice memento. I feel like it's a nice memento. I know we talked about it earlier. They charge way too much for a flag because it's literally a piece of cloth. But yeah, I'm gonna be the sucker that also buys probably a $45 flag when it should be worth like maybe $10. But they're very nice mementos, and I know Tim's got one. Our other buddy Brian went to the practice round at the U.S. Open, and he got one, and he had a bunch of guys sign it. And it's a great little thing to have, I think.
Yeah, they look good in the frame. I have a Whistling Straits one in here. I got Scioto. A lot of people aren't familiar with. It's like 50 something in the top 100. It's the course Jack Nicklaus grew up on. Place was unreal. Hopefully I can get back there soon. Valhalla, obviously they've hosted a ton of events.
Oh yeah.
Pinehurst number 4. I bought the flag because it's sweet, and that course is gonna get into the top 100. Have you guys ever played there?
No, but the flag is unbelievable. I mean, obviously I've watched the other the 4Play pod and playing there, and everyone says number 4 is they like it better than 2. So
I played at Pinehurst back in 2015, and it was number 2, number 4, number 7, and then I think we played number 1, and they were just like, yeah, number 1's fine, but like because it's the original one, so it's a lot shorter. But yeah, no, number 4's sick.
Yeah, and I think they redid 4 in 2018. Like Corin Crenshaw did it, and it was sick. That was better than multiple of the top 100s I've played. Like that was a top 50 course to me, honestly. And number two was unreal because of the history and stuff. But I mean, 2's just, it's the green comics are so hard and it's long enough to like host a tournament. Like number 4 was just as good, just wouldn't like fit well for a tournament because a lot of the holes go around the water. Like just viewing wise, it wouldn't be a good tournament course where like number 2 has that kind of going for it. But 4 was unreal. And then there are 2 flags I don't have that I need to get in my top 100 list, but I think I'll get back there at some point. So there are 2 outstanding that I need to buy, but I do got a bunch of them just sitting under my bed too because I can't frame. Yeah. I can't frame a dozen golf flags in my room. So
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, Tim always talks about it too, like kind of that area with like a great, amazing course, but just something you can't really play a tournament. I feel like Pine Valley in New Jersey is exactly that. And Tim goes on it all the time. He's like, it's just too small. It's a great course. It's so narrow, and it's just like it's not on enough like land mass to host a tournament. Basically,
have you played it?
No, are you kidding me?
Oh,
I don't have.
No, I wish.
Oh. I was gonna say we were about to get some information. No,
we would have a 3-hour podcast just Timmy asking you about every single blade of grass on that entire.
I think I will get out there at some point, but no, I've never played it.
I mean, it's super. What's it called? Not like a bet, but it's very, very private, right?
Oh yeah, it's invite only. It's more exclusive than like Augusta. Which I don't know. I would, if I ever get invited there, I'm canceling whatever I have and going and playing it. No doubt. I'll be there. But
wait, I got a question for you. Would you rather play Pine Valley, or would you rather play Augusta National?
So Pine Valley, I'm from Jersey. Like I take, even though I've never even seen the course, like I would take pride in that because it's ranked the best course in the world, and I'm from New Jersey. So I'd rather play Pine Valley, as crazy as that might sound.
That is a hot take. I like it. That is
I'll live by it though. And I love Augusta. Like Augusta, same deal. If I ever got invited to Augusta, I'm dropping everything. I'm there tomorrow. I'd jump on a plane right now if someone said, hey, we're playing Augusta tomorrow. Like I'm there. I'll be there.
Sure. Yep.
Like that's like golf fairyland. But
how could you not drop everything? That's the better question, right? Like
everyone
loves Augusta. I mean, I think everyone loves the Masters. Like I kind of go back and forth on it if it's my favorite or not, but that's for another topic for another day or another part of the podcast. But anyways, how could you ever decline like playing at like a top course like that? It's crazy.
No, 100%. I mean, you'd have to be insane. Doesn't matter what's going on. You cancel it. You go play.
Now, so you played a lot of the top 100, like ballpark, say have you played 20 of the top 100 courses or more than that?
No, I think between like 12 and 15 of them.
Now you gotta, I don't know, do this for me. Rank in your favorite top 3. Where do I want to go? And if it's a private course, how are you getting these things? Like, do you just know a guy? I mean, is it a Jersey thing? Talk to me.
Top 3 in no specific order.
Gotta be in order.
Dude, see, like I don't have an order. No. Off the top, Winged Foot, Erin Hills, and the Catanset Club.
Winged Foot, Erin Hills, the Catanset Club.
Timbo has a great story about Wingfoot.
Let's hear it.
Well, first, how the hell did you get on Wingfoot?
I was
which leads into my story, but yeah, keep going.
I was invited.
Like he knows. I know a guy. I can't say his name, but I know a guy.
I was invited out there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't want to like.
No. Understand.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're good.
I'm fortunate to like know a member there, and I've gone out with him. It was an unreal experience. Like I would maybe kill a person to join there. It was unbelievable. But probably not. Like I wouldn't kill a person. I'd feel too bad. But
severely maim them, but not kill them.
No. But yeah, Wingfoot was absolutely incredible. That was one of the coolest years ever. Of course, was so hard. I played because they have East and West. East is also East is like top 25 or something. But I played West, and that was awesome. It was so hard though.
Wow.
And then, you guys are up in that area. Are you familiar with the Catanset Club?
No. Where
check it out. It's in Marion, Mass. Like right.
Oh, that's right near the Cape, right?
Yeah.
The Catanset Club. No.
Super private. Pull up. What?
Super private.
Mm-hmm. That place was sick. Absolutely love it up there. And then Erin Hills. And I'm like a Bethpage Black diehard fan, but I don't think I put the Black in my top 3. Even though I absolutely love it. And that's like a classic Tillinghast, similar style to Winged Foot, but different obviously. And then, but they're both Tillinghasts. But Erin Hills was unreal. Like I think they only moved like a few pieces of land for the tee boxes, and it's just like rolling hills. The land is gorgeous, and that course was hard. But Erin Hills was unbelievable. I would, because I did Whistling Straits as part of it. Well, sorry, Whistling Straits was a package. I went with 3 of my college roommates who went straight from graduation.
Cool.
Whistling Straits was awesome. We played the Straits, the Irish, and there's of course Black Wolf Run River, which is also a top 100. Hated that course with a passion. I didn't play well. I just didn't like the course. It was a beautiful course. I didn't like the layout of it. And then we added on an Erin Hills tee time. And as unbelievable as the Straits was, if I was back in Wisconsin, I would rather just play Erin Hills like 3 straight days in a row. Erin Hills was that good. And nothing against the Straits, but I liked Erin Hills that much.
Oh, I'm looking at this Catanset Club on Google.
I mean, they would not allow us on that course. they would immediately be like, go home, guys. No shot.
Yeah, the Catanset Club was awesome. I was actually supposed to play up there again this summer. But the day we were shooting for, they ended up hosting like a charity outing. And that was like we were going to play during a weekday, and we weren't able to reschedule, unfortunately. But hopefully I can get back up. I've played out before, but I was I don't know, I'll play it again soon. But that place was really, really awesome.
This Catanza course is so private that on Google Maps it doesn't even have, you know how like when you go to like you zoom over a golf course, it can be like, oh, this is Lake Lincoln Country Club. Boom, it has like a pin. It doesn't even have a pin. It's a green area just full of luscious holes and water and bunkers. And I just know it's that one because it's in Marion, Mass, and it is just gorgeous to look at from space. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was that course is unreal. So the first 3 holes on Catan set are link style, and the last 3 holes are link style. So the first hole you go out, the second hole is just a straightaway par 4 right into the water. The third hole is their signature, and it's a par 3 on the water, and the green is built on the beach. So it's like literally like the whole surrounding of the green is the beach.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's unbelievable. And then holes 4 through 15 kind of go through the woods. It's not that it's like that much tree line, but it's just not link style. And then 16, 17, 18 open up, like you can see the water again. And they have 3 unreal finishing holes there.
This is so sick.
Oh
my God, look at it. It's like an island beach green. Are you kidding me?
It's that's probably the coolest golf hole I've ever played.
Are you kidding me?
I dumped it onto the right beach. I couldn't get up and down, so I made a bogey, unfortunately. But yeah, that was my top 3. Genuinely in no specific order. I don't think I could put them in an order. But undoubtedly those would be my top 3.
We have one another similar probably actually very similar to Catanza. It's called Eastward Ho, and it's out in oh god, it's out in the Cape. It's way out on the Cape. It's in Chatham / east, you know, it's way out there. And it's also the same thing. It is like the most private course in the world. And I'm just like, I just want to be like, one day I will play you. One day I will sneak on to you and I will play you and I will thumb my noses at your members saying, Nana Boo Boo, I got here.
Have you guys ever played Brookline?
No. We've walked Brookline. We have walked the country club, but no, we have not. I have a friend that's like my friend's boyfriend. His family belongs to the country club, but it's like it's not really like a thing where it's just like, hey, do you want to take me out to play golf? Like, you know what I mean? It's
of
like,
course. Yeah. It's like you can't ask at those courses. It's same with like yeah. Like
have you played? Have you played the country club?
No, I wish.
I was gonna say that would have opened up a whole nother slew of questions. But yeah, anyway.
I wish. Maybe one day.
And so I noticed you said Tillinghast, and are you into golf architecture at all? And because I just want to ask about the Pinehurst #2 Donald Ross greens.
Is Ryan into golf architecture? Is Ryan into golf architecture? What a fake Timmy segues right there. That was unbelievable.
That was textbook.
That was textbook Tim playing dumb. That was amazing.
I'm blind. Oh shit.
So yeah.
So Donald Ross greens. Tell me about those turtleback greens. We have a couple Donald Ross courses up here, and they've kind of been run down and not kept the way Donald Ross would have intended. I mean, just the leading question into our entire architecture: how bad are those turtleback greens? Did Donald Ross, did he make you angry?
So I got lucky the day I played. The day before, actually, I got lucky kind of twice with #2. So the day I played it, the day before we played #8, and it was like a monsoon down there. It'll rain for like 30 minutes, like crazy, and then it'll rain cats and dogs, and then it'll just be clear and nothing will happen. So that's kind of what happened. We ended up getting rained out on 8 after 9 holes. Like the greens had puddles on them. It was an insane rainstorm for like literally 45 minutes. But so we only played the front 9 on 8, and we had #2 the next day, and it was so wet. They didn't cut or roll the greens when I played it. So they were still fast, but they were not, I think they usually roll at about 12. I think they were probably rolling about 10 and a half that day. So it was very reasonable, and they were still crazy, dude. Like they might have been rolling like an 11. They weren't rolling as fast as normal though, because we ended up getting paired. So it was my dad, my brother, and I were the three that went down, and our fourth was a member who lived on the course. So what people don't know about Pinehurst is if you live in Pinehurst, like you can join number two, or not number two, like you join Pinehurst as like a membership.
Okay.
So he was like a member, and they have like a whole like members country club and everything. And we played with him, and he had some really good course knowledge, and he was telling us about it. And he was hitting putts on the first holes. He's like, what the hell is this? He was in like 6 feet short. He goes, they usually goes 4 feet by. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, man. He goes, you guys picked the right day to play. Which was crazy too, because so I shot an 82 there and I went 44, 38. And it took me 9 holes to even figure out how to hit the right chips on the greens. Like also they do their tee times. They do them a little weird. So we started on the 14th hole. They have like a weird system for whatever. So we started on the 14th hole, and 16, which was the third hole we played, is a par 3. Played like 180 yards. I just missed the green I hit the green, rolled off to the left. And then the pin was on the right side, and they're all turtlebacks. So in that situation, normally I would hit a pitching wedge, which is what I hit. And I hit like a really good shot. And the second I hit it, the guy we were playing with, he was a really good guy. He was like, see ya. I was like, no way. Like the second I hit it, and I hit a good shot. So I was like, what the hell is going on? And now I'm short-sided, chipping up a hill. And if I leave it any bit short, it's rolling right back to my feet. That was exactly what happened. So I made a 6 on a par 3. So like I blew up the front. And I did it on a couple more holes where like I'd hit a good chip and it would just trickle like this far by the hole and it was gone. I was like, this is impossible. So it took me 9 holes to like just figure out how to hit the right shots on the greens. And then so I shot a 38 on the back, which I was extremely happy with.
Yeah.
But those greens were crazy, and I didn't even play them at their worst.
No kidding. Oh my God. And you're a 10 handicap and you shot a 38. And what'd you say on the front? 40?
No, I'm a 3. I'm like, well,
You're a 3?
Yeah, I'm a 3.
Well,
so right now it's at like 2.8. When I played Pinehurst, I was probably a 4. So not too far off where I am right now.
I was gonna say, if you were a 10 handicap and shot that is electric. That's a
no. I was saying
that's...
when we were talking about the 60-degree wedge, when I got rid of it, I was about a 10 at that point. But
gotcha.
Yeah, that was a few years back. I'm currently right hovering. It fluctuates between 3 and 4. This is like a 2.8 is the lowest I've ever been. So
my apologies. That's a horse of a different color. I
don't care, man. I just like playing. I don't care.
All right. Well, and now I'm curious, what's the biggest step to get from that point of like a 10 to be that mid handicapper to now you are a legit golfer? What's that biggest step? Like, how did you do it? Was it a year of grinding, or was it just like mental game? You know, what's the biggest step for someone like me who's a mid handicapper?
So I'll go a little bit of a backstory. So my senior year of college, I graduated May 2021. March of 2020, I was a junior. We got sent home for COVID. That was like the whole COVID thing. So we went back in the fall, and my senior year, all the classes were online, but we were still out at school and basically had nothing to do. We were taking 12 credits. They were all online. It was like a joke. And the course by our school, it like tipped out at 7,000 yards. It wasn't that difficult of a course, but it would get windy and the greens rolled at a 12. So it was a good course. They had a turf, like a real grass driving range, whole like nice short game area. And it was $400 unlimited golf for the entire school year if you showed your transcript.
Wow.
So I went there first day, it was $395, paid $395. And I played there literally 5 days a week. It was awesome. So we were just grinding. And I started my senior year of college at like a 10.3. I remember this because we were all keeping our handicap, my roommates and I. And we were playing every day. I was like, all right. We played so much golf. I was like, I gotta like try to get better. So like we'd play 9 and we'd actually like work on our short game. I was at a pretty decent short game, but I just got better just from playing more. And then graduated, I was like a 3.5, I think. And then I started working, and then I was playing like garbage. I went up to like a 6. I was like, this sucks. I don't like this. I was firing I was shooting high 70s every round. Now I could barely break 80. And then so I started taking online lessons back in March to really get my game better. So that's kind of how I got there. The biggest step is not going out of bounds off the tee, and then obviously short game and putting.
Not OB definitely would help for sure.
Huge.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we have a buddy, Jimmy, who played with us on Monday, and he's just changed his game so much where he's just like, I can't hit my driver. I don't know what's wrong with it. So he takes 5 wood off the tee every hole. And when I tell you he crunches a 5 wood down the middle of the fairway, it was like, it's going 250 yards. I'm like, dude, like I'm barely out driving you with like a driver. This is not good.
No higher than 15 feet off the ground.
Oh my God, it's stinger level. It just goes zoom. It was.
Oh, dude, that's what my brother is a hybrid like that. So I'm like 5'8". My brother's 6'1".
That's not fair.
That's
not fair.
I know.
That's BS. You gotta go back to your dad and be like, can we do a quick trade? Can I get 2 inches, please? Like let's level this out.
I know, right?
Although, Tim, you and Brian are like that too.
Yeah,
you're a little taller than Brian guy.
How did you want him to approach like his dad to be like, hey, can we
just be like, can we level this out? Like,
are we going back to the sperm level? What are we doing?
No. Just like, can you tell him to give me 2 inches of height? Like, that's not that hard. We'll be 5'10" and 5'11". We'll be great.
Right. Even it off. I get what you're saying. But yeah, I guess Brian.
Yeah, level the playing field, baby. Anyways, sorry about that, Ryan. Continue.
Oh, no, that was bad. I was saying my brother does the same thing. He has a hybrid and he hits it like 240 on a rope.
Wow.
And it's just like he doesn't carry a 3 wood, like but that hybrid, for whatever reason, he just smashes it.
It's great when you have that club. So like I don't really have, I wouldn't say I have that right now. Obviously, no one's is actually driver. No matter what they ever say to you, never believe it. The driver goes everywhere. The driver has a mind of its own. But I used to be a big 7-iron guy, and I still am. But I think now my pitching wedge is like between 125 and 135. I hit my iron short. So like my pitching wedge at like 130 is like a perfect club for me.
Mm-hmm. That's what I am too. I don't hit mine any further than that.
But then I get up to like my like then I feel like my 7-iron goes just as far as like my 5-iron or my 4-iron in situations, and I get pissed off at myself.
That's funny. That's golf, man.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the best and the worst, ain't it?
The best and the worst. Oh my. Hey, do you have any hole-in-ones?
Only, well, no.
Pitch and putt kind of counts.
I got one on pitch and putt, but no, not a real one. The pitch and putt was fun, and it was cool. You know, you still like, it's not like no matter what, you don't hole out many shots. So I was like, this is kind of cool. I was excited, but it didn't feel right. It's funny. So I know I mentioned this earlier, but my dad, my brother, and I, we play together every weekend, and my dad and brother both have them. So every single par 3, I hear about it, and I beat them. I don't think they've beaten me in the last like 4 years, but I hear about the hole-in-one.
Oh, I bet. Oh, that's incredible! What a great dynamic.
So it's funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's unreal. What would you consider? So, because I've had this argument, I think 90 yards and above, no matter what you're playing on, even if you're playing on a par 3 course, if it's 90 yards and above, you can count it. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
My take, and this was after, actually, to add on to my hole-in-one story. So of not having one, my girlfriend, because during COVID, there was nothing to do. So she was like, can you teach me golf? I was like, yeah, of course. So we'd go to a field and we'd hit like foam balls, and I taught her golf, and she's gotten like pretty solid. She'll shoot like a legit 105. Like if she makes a 10, like she'll write 10 on her scorecard and shoot like a 105. So her game's pretty solid. I was going into the city. A bunch of my friends live in the city. I was going in to see a Knicks game with one of them, and I'm in an Uber, and she's texting me. She's like, "You have to answer. You have to answer." And I knew she was golfing. I was like, "No fucking way." She goes, "I just got a hole in one." I was like, "Motherfucker." So my dad, my brother, and my girlfriend all have hole in ones.
Oh,
And so hers though, and this is to answer your question. So there's this course near us, and it's an executive course. So like the longest par four is like maybe 320 yards, and there's some like 420-yard par fours, whatever. So she got it on that course, but it's handicap rated, and it was like a 110-yard, 115-yard hole for her. So completely legit. It was over water. It's like a legit par three. So I would say any handicap rated course, it counts.
I like it.
That would be my answer.
I like it. I can take that. I think that's good. I just think like even if you're on like a par three course and it's like 120-yard par three, like you bet your ass I'm counting that if that goes in. Like that's a legit par three right there. But I also understand on that side.
I will give you it. I will give you it if you get it on par. But like it's definitely a personal thing. I wouldn't give it to myself.
Same. No, same. Like if I was with someone at pitch and putt and they got one, I'd be like, bro, you just got a hole in one.
Yeah, exactly.
But it didn't feel, because I don't have one. You know what I mean?
I don't have one either.
I was like, it didn't feel right.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. I don't know if you guys saw the it was a thing on like golf TikTok, I think like a month ago now, where the guy like it just went right into the hole and it broke the hole.
Yeah.
And people were like, and so like it broke the hole. So like it like shattered the hole, and it was like not all the way down. And people were like, not a hole in one. And I'm like, I'm like,
it's not.
I know, but I'm like, like
you have to
imagine that. And then they're like, oh, replace the ball mark and put your hole right there. And I'm like, okay, I'll put my hole right here. Oh, look, it dropped right in. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, come on now, guys. Where do we draw the line?
There's no line on social media.
Oh no, are you kidding me? People would like, they could see that, they would be able to see it. You could videotape yourself hitting a hole in one, and they would be like, that doesn't count. And I'd be like, what? Like what? Yep. What are we talking about here? They're like, no, that was only 190-yard par three. Like that's not even real. And I'm like, okay.
Brendan, say you were to hit that shot and it would get caught in the lip, like you've seen it in the pictures. Do you want to, if someone asked you if you got a hole in one or if you have a hole in one, do you want to have to explain that to them?
So
and be like,
if I had
of it.
Yep. So if I had one already, I'd probably say I had two. But if I didn't have one already, that would be difficult. And I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not, but I feel like
that's more fair.
Yes. I think it's the same thing with like when you do it on the simulator too, where it's just like, if I got a hole in one on the simulator and it's like, I'm playing like TPC Sawgrass or something like that. Like, I'm like, I really should count this, but like, if I don't have a hole in one already, I'm probably not going to count it.
On the sim would be tough. I don't think so on the sim.
No. Like, do I count my hole in ones on Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2K5? Like,
oh yeah, I have 27 of them.
Like we're getting into video game mode right here.
I know. Which, by the way, Tim has now done it twice, where he has kind of done I didn't realize I was going to segue into this, but now we're segueing into it. Timmy segues amazing. So, Ryan, I know one of your golf passions is course design. How amazing was it when PGA 2K22 came out with this awesome idea where they're like, let's let everyone make their own courses? And has that kind of increased like your passion for course design, or was that kind of just like, oh, this is a nice tool, now I get to like show it off as well?
Yeah, so I love the feature, and like I've used it, I've built courses on it. It's really cool. It does take time. So like I've built one that I've like posted, because it's like, it takes time to build an 18-hole course, you know what I mean, in that game. And like, I wish I had 3 hours to sit around and play video games, but I don't.
Who doesn't?
So, so I mean, I don't even play a ton of Xbox. Like, I haven't played Xbox in a while. But so I'm like partially like a business nerd. I don't think a lot of people know that. Like I run my own business. I work pretty much all day. I wish I could play golf like I don't know. Today, for example, like I was up at like 6:45, worked out, worked from 8:30 until now, and then I'm gonna go work on some like personal stuff. Like I'll edit all my shit for tomorrow. So like I work a lot in that sense, but like I enjoy it. It doesn't stress me out. So like it kind of the goal of it kind of combines what like the two things I love doing, which is building businesses and kind of the entrepreneur stuff and golf. So like I want to like I would love to get into course design, but I would also love to. There's one course like I want to own one. I want my own golf course. I want two. I want one public, one private, one for the people, one private. But
You want to design them? I mean,
oh yeah, if I want to own them, I want to design them. And it's not like I'll do all this stuff myself. Like if I don't know jack about, say, I don't know, like grass, and I don't know about like the agricultural type stuff, I'll hire someone. So,
right.
like I'd love to like build a team of people who do this. You know what I mean? It's not like I expect to do it all by myself. Even if it was working with a design company, like I'd love to just have like a say in the design, something like that. And if it's something I learn over the years and years, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Alex Hermosi.
No.
He's an entrepreneur guy, and he does a lot of like acquisition type stuff.
Oh, cool.
His company is called acquisitions.com, and he literally buys and scales companies. And his thing is like, if you do something for an unreasonably amount of time, he's like, it's impossible to not get good at it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so if you want your arms to get bigger and you do arms every single day at the gym, like they're gonna grow. Like it would be unrealistic for them not to. So like that's kind of why I like to like draw a hole every day, and I try to read about it and stuff. Where it's like, it's not like I'm rushing to do that. It might take me my whole life, but it's like if I continue learning about it, maybe in 40 years or 50 years, like I should have a lot of knowledge about it. Is kind of my thought process on that. So it kind of combines, I don't know, like I have like stacks of books next to my desk that like I read. So like I love like business and things like that, but I also love golf. So that kind of dream is what would combine the two.
I could talk to you all day. I used to draw baseball stadiums as a kid, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And as my love of golf game, I used to draw in the middle of class, just draw golf courses, just draw golf holes. But Brendan has this thing. Now, I fully support it. I love his idea. He says that every course should finish with a par 5. Would you finish your course that you designed? Would you finish it with a par 5? And if not, why?
No. So I said the coolest golf hole I ever played was number 3 at Catanset.
Okay.
My favorite golf hole is 18 at Wingfoot West. And it is, do you guys know the hole?
The long par 4, right?
The long par 4, dogleg left up
Very
the hill.
like really, really tight off the tee, right?
Yeah. And the green complex is bonkers. The green complex has like a huge false front, a massive, it's kind of just like a turtleback green, but then there's a hill going up that also goes off the back. And there's like this 6-yard window, and it's just a ledge. And if you somehow get on that ledge, you're screwed. And when I played with my dad when we played Wingfoot, and he was on that back ledge, and the caddy was like good luck. I remember he was on the back right ledge, and the pin was middle left, and the caddy had him aim like up to the fringe, and then it rolled all the way back. Yeah, it was actually like a really good putt, and the caddy was like, wow, that was a really good putt. So like that hole is an absolute monster. That's my favorite hole in golf. So I think if I was finishing the course, and if it was a course that was like my baby, it's going to be a monster of a par 4 to finish up.
Interesting. So I also say this because, and I'm big on the par 5 to end, because I think especially if you're a PGA Tour course, you want that scoring at the end, where if you see a lot of the TPCs now, almost all the TPCs end at a par. Like most of the TPCs that have been designed over the past 20 years end in a par 5. And
Mhm.
that's exactly why, because so like TPC San Antonio, TPC Boston up here, like it's all par 5s because they want that at the end where it's like if someone's down by 1, they can make an eagle and they can win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that idea to it. And, Pebble Beach on 18 is like, it's one of the most iconic holes in the world. Like,
Mhm.
I just think it's such a cool, and we'll talk about this too, because I mean, going into it, a drivable par 4, maybe not to end the 18th, but there's something about St. Andrews 18th hole where it is like right close to that drivable range where you could really do some damage on that hole if you're down by a lot. Like, I think that's pretty cool too.
No, I agree. And another good one was Baltusrol, because they had the 2016 PGA, 2015. One of Jimmy Walker's, either 20, I think it was 2016. Jimmy Walker won. And 18 there was a reachable par 5, and Day needed eagle to push a playoff. So he sent it in. So like it does bring in the excitement factor. So I'm not against it at all. I just because Phil blew his US Open at Winged Foot
At 18
with the double on 18 at Winged Foot. So I was like, to me, I was like, wow, that's such a bad way to lose versus someone making an eagle on you. So I don't know. I like it because 18 I didn't like Southern Hills. I don't know. I didn't love it just based on this year, the PGA. But 18 was the tough par 4, and like, what was it, Mito Pereira sprayed one right? Like, that was a tough hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like,
and that was with the creek coming right through, like right in the driver. Like, you almost had to hit 3-wood, and people were hitting driver and going right in the creek. I remember that. That was crazy.
Yeah. So there's like, I don't know. There's two sides to it. I'm not against the par 5 at all, or like a scoring hole. I just think it can't be like a straightforward hole where like the scoring average plays, pretty close to par. Like, I think it's either got to be really hard or give someone the chance to make the eagle or the hero play or something.
So if you're having that really difficult, and I understand what you're saying, like make them win it with a good couple of golf shots on that last final hole. Because par 4s are probably the toughest holes in golf, unless you have a really long par 3. But so on those holes preceding that, the 16, 17, are you doing some sort of a scoreable, either par 4, a short par 3, or a short par 4? How do you design that?
I don't know. See, that's a good scenario. So if 18 is a monster, maybe like 15 would be a par 3, and then you could go 16 as a 5. But I think going like par 4 also depends what you're going for, I guess, on the course. You know what I mean?
True.
Because like a good example actually would be Trump National Bedminster. So that course gets purely just from a golf standpoint. Like, people either say the course is unbelievable, or they say the course is way too hard. This is stupid. Like, when that course was made, it was made to host a major, and it was supposed to get the PGA. So like, yeah, it's extremely difficult. That was the point of the course, though. So like, I don't think that's a fair. It's like, yeah, that's why it was made. It was created to host a championship tournament. Like, so I think when people say, "Oh, it's too hard," I'm like that's, and it's not too hard. I've played that course probably a dozen times, and it's difficult, but it's like, that was what the point of the course was. So I think that plays into it. Because then like Valhalla, I've played, and Valhalla has a really nice set of finishing holes, and 18 is the gettable par 5. It's up the hill, and it's a tough green. It has like it's almost like a lowercase n, almost, the green, and there's like, it literally goes like that. But like Rory almost blew it when he won there, because there's a creek up the right side, and he was like coming up in the dark. So that's like another really great finishing hole. But it kind of depends like what the courses go. And Valhalla obviously hosts championships as well. So
Sure.
I think it depends like what you're going for. I personally like a gauntlet of a finisher. I just think it makes it like a bloodbath.
I love it. Ryan, I could talk to you all day. And I'm sure we're going to have you back on as well, because I know Brian and Mike, our other 2 co-hosts, are going to have questions for you after they listen to this. You're such a different guest than we've ever had on before. And to actually talk about the design. And I mean, we talk about golfer polls, and we have hypothetical situations, and you're putting those like ideal situations into it by designing courses. And yet you haven't designed a course yet, but you want to, and you have this vision in your head. And you know, personally, I love picking your brain. I could pick your brain for hours. So this is great. This is great. I know we're not done yet, but I just want to show my appreciation because this, you know, Ryan, you're a great guest. Great guest.
No, I appreciate it. And I like the other thing with wanting to build a golf course. It's like, if I don't do it, you know, I'll live. But it's like a cool thing to strive for. And obviously it's not like it's, you know, I would need to make a lot of money to do that. But then again, like I don't know, I learn a lot. So I like learning. So ideally, you know, I can keep learning skills and be able to do it one day. So like I have like a plan in my head of how it all happened. But I don't know, like combine my passions like personally. And then I don't know, I think it's so cool too. It's like people go like Whistling Straits, for example, the guy Robert Kohler, and like Kohler, like the dude who makes the seats and sinks, like he's the one who made Whistling Straits. I think like I was there, I was like we had a blast when I went with my friends. I was like, damn, I'd be like, it's like that would be so cool to be able to create something. I think he died too. Rest in peace to it was Herb Kohler. Sorry, rest in peace to Herb. But I don't know. I think it'd be so cool to like actually, if I can achieve that one day, like when I die, then like there's something tangible that people can go and enjoy themselves and have a good time. So that's kind of like my two-pronged is like, one, I think like it allows people to create memories, and then selfishly it's like what I love doing. So
yeah, and it kind of reminds me of like Mike Kaiser too, who's the guy behind Band and Dunes and the Cabot series now. Like, and I think I don't know if he's Sand Valley or if it's someone else who's Sand Valley, but like they keep like that dude just like he's like, I've made my money. I'll make a little bit more on this, but like these are now like my beautiful pet projects, and I love every single one. And like that's, you know what I mean? Like I feel like golf is not, unless you're a tour pro, like golf is not something you go in to make money, like because 95% of the time you're gonna lose money. It's just something that you love.
Yeah, because like I mean, realistically, it's like if I make enough money in my life to build a golf course, like
we're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, I will have lived a good life on that end. So
yeah. Do you have a name picked out for the course to be determined, or that you are going to build?
The only one I would ever potentially think of would be something with like the word old farmhouse in it, because that's the street I live on. Like that's the house I'm in. We actually just sold it. So we're moving soon, unfortunately. But that's like the only thing I can think of. I wouldn't put my name behind it or anything like that.
Okay.
Maybe like I don't know. I live on Old Farmhouse Road, so maybe something like that. Like something at Old Farmhouse Golf Club, something at Old Farm. I don't know, something like that. But I would need to build the course and have the clubhouse be an old farmhouse. So there's a restricting factor there because it would have to fit. So I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it'd probably be something kind of native to the area, like the Catanset Club. Catanset means near the sea in, I think, Native American or something. So like that's where that came from, and it's a really cool name.
Okay.
So like something like if it was native to the area, but other than that, I have no idea.
So I know we talked about Donald Ross with the turtleback greens. We talked, Pete Dye has the short par four, like the revival of the short par fours. Robert Trent Jones has, the hard par, easy bogey. Like that's his mantra type of like holes. What can we say the Ryan McHugh signature would be?
Good question.
So I'm personally a Tillinghast guy. Pete Dye courses just piss me off when I play them. Like they're sick. They're
supposed to. That's the point of a Pete Dye course.
No, I know, because I was gonna say like I don't dislike his courses, but they piss me off when I'm on them. So I don't know. I love like the Donald Ross. He's obviously all about the greens, and Tillinghast always has like the huge bunkering. I like tough green complexes.
Okay.
So
undulations, like you have to hit it in the right spot, different tiers. So
and a ton of swales. Like I love false fronts. Aaron Hills had a lot of false fronts too. That was partially why I loved it, and like a lot of swales. Like I don't like all the time when the course is just like it's just rough around the greens. Like to me, that gets a little boring. Like you can only hit one type of shot. Like I like if you're down in a swale with a tight lie, you can do anything. I don't know. I like allowing people to be creative around the greens. That's kind of my I don't know. I always love courses that have like where you can hit all like you could bump it into the hill, you could try to go high with it. You could just let something check up and spin. You could putt it if you want. I don't know. I kind of like giving people the option. Some people use like hybrids or 3-woods. I think that's what makes it fun. It's like when you can get creative.
Gonna have a daunting par 4 18th with an impossible green with tight lies all the way around in swales. Man, that's gonna be a daunting.
Sounds super fun. Sounds amazing that I can double and triple bogey that hole every time I play it.
But it has to be fair though, because like the Pete Dye, so Whistling Straits actually, you're better off missing their fairways by 30 yards than 5 yards. I don't think that's completely fair. Like we were on the what hole was it? It was either 10 or 11. 10. It was 11. I hit like a beautiful drive. The caddy's either like, "Oh, you're good," or he goes, "You're screwed." And he was like, "Just depends how it bounces." Hit the fairway, bounced right, plugged in the face of a bunker. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Two of my roommates, one of them was a lefty and just blocked it. The other one was a righty and snap hooked it. Literally 50 yards off the fairway, like just fine, like nothing. It was just grass. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, and there were multiple holes like that. So like, literally I was, and again, it's obviously where people stand with viewers and stuff, but you were literally better off missing their fairways by 30 yards. Wow. Unless you were on Lake Michigan, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, probably not the best place to be on Lake Michigan.
No,
but
30 yards.
I love Pete Dye courses because my favorite course in the world is Pete Dye course. So like I don't get mad, but like whenever you say like what you just said, Ryan, like Pete Dye courses piss me off. I'm like, they're supposed to. That's the whole point of them. Like
I know.
He's supposed to make it look easy, and then it turns out incredibly difficult. That's what he goes for.
I know. And he was obviously unbelievable at achieving that.
Yeah. I mean,
like they're hard, man. Yeah. They're hard. You get bad bounces. It's like it's hard.
I mean, Peter. I know the Ocean course is like his crown jewel, and like obviously like Whistling Straits is amazing. My favorite course is Harbor Town because we've lived in South Carolina before, and I love it down there. But yeah, I love when people say I like the course, but it just pisses me off. And John Rahm always says that about the Pete Dye courses. Like he is very much like. He hates Pete Dye courses, but he loves them because he's like, this is stupid. Like he gets out there and you hear it in the mic. He's like, this course is so stupid. I'm like, let's go.
No, I would be a hypocrite if I said I hate Pete Dye too. Because when I was talking about Trump Bedminster, I was saying like people complain that it's too hard, but that's what it's designed for. Like that's what Pete Dye designs the courses for. So like I can't say I dislike him. I get pissed off when I play him, but he's a legend, obviously.
Right.
Absolutely. He truly is. And, he passed away 2 years ago now. Jesus. But I mean, there's a lot of, I think what Ben Crenshaw is doing with a lot of his courses now, I mean, Sand Valley, they said is already probably next year going to be top 10, maybe top 5. Like, and that's like 2 years into it being open.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new. I know Tiger did the just design is doing more designing. Obviously, Nicholas has some great designs. I feel like it's in good hand. I feel like the courses, the course design is in good hands going forward too. And who knows? Maybe we'll get like. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another guy coming through middle of nowhere. Maybe Jordan Spieth decides he wants to start making courses, or maybe we hear Ryan McHugh's name one day, just up there with the top 100 courses. So,
see, my other theory too is if I don't make enough money, I just need to get good enough at putting a team of people together and convincing people with money. So, there are a lot of ways to go about it in that end.
That is smart. That is very, very smart right there.
So that's always hard. A ton of different avenues to get there.
Yeah, and I know so just switching gears just a tiny bit, and we'll do quick little talk about this. I know I know we talked about, like, I talked about Quail Hollow for this week. Like, that 18th hole is magnificent. That absolutely magnificent closing hole. I don't know about you, Ryan, and I talked to Tim about it, and I know we talked about it a little bit before. I have zero interest in the President's Cup this week.
I agree. I'm a Ryder Cup diehard. Some people, I don't know. People are like, I don't like the Ryder Cup. I think that's crazy. I love the Ryder Cup. President's Cup, I probably won't watch it. Maybe I'll watch it. It's gonna be over on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm chilling, maybe I'll turn it on. But like, I don't know. It's a knockoff Ryder Cup. USA is gonna destroy them. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, and I think I know we probably didn't really want to talk too much about Liv, but I think the whole like part where like the Liv guys aren't playing, and like I think it's a little bit different where the Ryder Cup guys from Europe who went to the Liv are Westwood, Poulter, like guys on their back nine, like probably like drinking something on the 18th fairway, just waiting to get into the clubhouse. Yeah. And then it's like Sam Horsfield, who, like, no offense to Sam Horsfield, he's a very good player, but he probably had zero shot in making the Ryder Cup, even at his, at 25. Like, he's just not there. The President's Cup got destroyed by Liv because they literally took every good player who could have played on the international. Not every good player, because I mean, you still got Sanjay. You got Sanjay M. You got Corey Con. Like, you got really, really good top 20 guys. But like Cameron Smith, gone. Mark Leishman, gone. Jocko Neiman, who would have been on that team for 20 years, gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do. And as much as I say I love Thomas the Tank Kim, because I do love Thomas the Tank Kim, he is now my new favorite player. I'm still trying to buy the CJ hats because they don't sell them. And I'm like, I need a CJ hat. Like, I need it. And
yeah,
Brian's favorite, me and our other co-host now, Brian, have a rivalry because I'm Tom Kim and his favorite is Sunjay M. So we have a nice little Korean rivalry. We just need Mike or Timmy to get on the Siwoo Kim train, and then we got all of it going. But that's like, it's I don't know. I just can't get into it. And after even today, when I looked and they were up 4-1, I can't.
I agree. And like, obviously I'm rooting for the Americans all day, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's just a knockoff Ryder Cup. It's always been that way to me. And like,
it 100% is.
If the event was in my area, I'd 100% go and I would enjoy it. But like, it just, I don't know, doesn't do it for me.
Do you think if they created a Live PGA Tour Ryder Cup format kind of tournament, do you think that would surpass the Ryder Cup versus PGA Tour? Maybe not at first.
I think it's hard because I always have this Live debate with like my golf buddies and stuff. So my take on Live always is like, within the golf community, it's a huge deal. But like, if you're not a huge golf fan or you just like Tiger or whatever, like, it doesn't really mean anything to you. So like, it'd be hard to get behind it because it wouldn't hold much importance to you if you're not like a golf fan or golf junkie. But like the Ryder Cup, if you're American, you can get behind it.
Good point.
So I don't think so for that reason. That's always been my take on it.
Absolutely love it. Great answer. Absolutely great answer. USA,
baby.
And I just don't think I think like the Live guys at the top. So like, I think like DJ and Cam Smith, I think they can compete. Probably Jocko Neiman, maybe Bryson and Brooke. Like, honestly, they're a maybe at this point now too, which is kind of sad. Like,
yeah.
But they just stopped. They didn't even want to play. They didn't even want to play this year. Like Brooks has always said, he doesn't even want to play in golf. He just wants to play in the majors and go home. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Patrick Reed, like, maybe those 6 guys, but you also have to remember you have 6 other guys on that team too. And like, I don't know if Sam Horsfield can do it. Like I keep bringing him up. Like, my go-to guy was Henny Duplessis forever, just because he finished second in the first tournament. And I'm like, my dude, my man. And then he got the boot. And now I'm like, I don't have anyone to really make fun of, but at the same time, kind of love at the same, like I can't do this. Why'd you boot Henny? He was unbelievable.
You got to root for Scott Vincent. I met his manager. So Scott Vincent.
Scott Vincent.
For those guys too, like if you're Scott Vincent and they were like, come to live, like a dude who won 2 events this year on the Asian tour, but like, let's be real, like most likely not going to make it to the PGA tour. Probably have like a couple year run on the European tour. You're taking that 10 out of 10 times.
Dude, yeah, and it's actually, so when we met his manager, that's what he was saying, and it was kind of interesting how it came about. So, because when the live was in New Jersey, I live like 15 minutes from there. So I went.
Yeah, it was at Bedminster, right? Like,
yeah. So and it was a good time. And we were just on a hole. This guy was just like on the green, and one of my friends will talk to anybody. Like he'll just start talking to people. So he just starts talking to this guy. He was like, "Hey man," he's like, "what are your thoughts on like the live versus the tour stuff?" And he had like the press passes, so we were like, "Oh, this must be like someone involved with live." He was always like, "I'm Scott Vincent's manager," and we were just talking to him about it, and that's what he was saying. He was like, "Dude," he's like, "it's hard to make it on tour," and he goes, "Live offered us like a few million guaranteed." He goes, "It was a no brainer," and I like. To me, I'm like, hey, good for that guy, man. Like he's been probably grinding for 10 years trying to make it as a pro. Obviously,
I think he's 33. Like you're absolutely taking that.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, it's a no-brainer on that end. That's what he was saying, and I don't know. It's kind of like an interesting perspective just to like hear someone like who's involved in it talk about it. And he was even saying he's like, I don't think Liv will ever overtake the tour or anything like that. He goes, I kind of just think like they'll coexist as time goes on. I was like, yeah, that's a good take on it. But yeah, it's funny talking to him because he was talking about it. He goes, for us, man, he goes, honestly, it was a no-brainer. He was like, I think it was 3 million guaranteed. Like, of course you're gonna take that.
Yeah. I think once they eventually it's going to all the majors are going to allow any player to play in the majors. And so as far as like where you play,
I don't know about the Masters. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, the way that Bubba and Mickelson and like everyone's kind of talking about the Masters already, trying to like not play victim, but be like, well, if they don't want me there, I won't go. And like, I'll have a different opinion of them. That tells me that they got reached out to and we're basically like, you're not coming. Like, sorry guys, you're not coming.
I think they're going to be one of the first to let live guys in.
No, US Open and Open Championship are going to be, they might have to go through qualifying. I do think like they're going to make the guys get like the Taylor Gooches of the world. Like, I feel like they're going to, again, now he has gone from a nice little rising player who like everyone kind of rooted for to maybe the most hated golfer in the world besides Patrick, who's not named Patrick Reed. And it's hilarious because he just says the stupidest things.
Yeah. And like, I don't care like if guys go to live or whatever. Like I genuinely like Cam Smith's one of my favorite golfers. I would watch a live stream just to watch Cam Smith. He's unbelievable. I just like watching him play golf.
Yeah, like, he ran Chicago. Like he ran it.
But like Taylor Gooch, like fine, go to live, like take your money, but like don't go bash the tour as if you were mistreated on the tour, dude. Like you're living a better life than fucking everyone.
And then sue him. Sue him.
Exactly. Like don't like to me that was garbage. The guy suing the tour as if the tour was like just ruining their lives, paying them millions of dollars a year, and they're getting millions of dollars in sponsor deals. Like give it a rest. Like to me, I didn't like that. Because like when Taylor Gooch went, I was like, hey, like good for him. And then he started suing the tour. I'm like, oh yeah, because they treated you so poorly.
Yeah. I have always said, the one person you need to be like in this is Pat Perez, because Pat Perez came out immediately and he said, I love the PGA Tour. I love the time that I had there. I played on it for 20 years. I can't compete on it anymore. Liv offered me He didn't say how much, but
Yeah.
Liv offered me $15 million to come play on this tour. I couldn't say no.
Same with Harold Varner. It's like respect.
Yeah.
Just thank you for just saying it.
Yeah. Like as soon as you come out and say that, like I'm good. And I'm good with Harold Varner. I kind of felt bad when he was like, yeah, dude, I hate being hated. Why is everyone hating me right now? I'm like,
yeah,
you knew you were going to get a bit of pushback, man, but like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. But then it's like, when I hear Matt Wolf saying like how much he missed team golf, I'm like, no, dude, no, you had a really, really good first 2 years, really good rookie year, good second year. You kind of fallen off a little bit. Go make your money. I'm proud of you, man. But like, don't do that.
I know. It's like, and then it's like fucking Patrick Reed's like, I wanted more time with my family. He's playing 7 straight weeks all over Asia.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, just say you took the money and everyone on tour hates you. It's fine. Just say it.
Right.
Like, and now he's suing the tour too. It's like,
there's still like 7 of them. I think they said Phil might drop it because like Liv technically became like a plaintiff. So I bet you a lot more guys are going to drop out of it now. The only guys who's not going to is Taylor Gooch and Patrick Reed. Probably Hudson Swafford too, because he sued him and Matt Jones sued as well as Taylor Gooch to try and get back in the FedEx Cup playoffs, which was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. You can't. I don't know. It's like if you leave,
it's both ways too, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes Billy Horschel goes a little bit too hard in the paint on those guys.
Rory too. And I'm a Rory guy, diehard Rory guy. But like, like when he just makes comments like this, like you're just bringing more attention to it.
Yeah.
Like just drop it, Rory. Like you won your 21st thing. Like good for you, man. Like just celebrate it, enjoy it. Like you don't need to start digging it, Live, because then you're just bringing attention to it. You're literally taking attention away from your PGA Tour win. And I'm a diehard.
Greg Norman did not take that one kindly either. It was very, very funny. It was. I know. It may not have been the best choice, but like Greg was like, "All right, gloves are off." Like I was like, "Dude, that's a." When Rory goes, "One more than Norman, huh?" I was like, "Holy shit, let's go!" Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Oh man. So Ryan, I know we've kept you for a little bit and we really do appreciate your time. We do have Timmy already asked one of our now 4 ending questions because we now have the greatest question known to man. But Timbo, I will let you go with the rapid fire and end of podcast. Nice little questions that we have.
Well, we already know the answer to one of them because he said it was his favorite golf hole. But so one of the questions we ask is if you could build or have any golf hole in your backyard, which golf hole would that be? And so we're guessing it would be 18 at Wingfoot on the West course, you said. But this hole could have all the scenery. This hole could have, like say it's something at Pebble Beach. It has all the cliffs and all that, whatever. But if you look in your backyard, look out that window, and you can have any golf hole. You play it over and over. Which golf hole would you have?
So the 18 at Wingfoot, I couldn't play that every day, man. I'd go insane. 5 at Bethpage Black.
5, okay. Which is
it's like the zigzag par 5 with the green just perched up kind of at the top of a hill.
Yes, you have to carry off the drive. Do you have to carry that big bunker thing off the drive, or am I thinking of a different hole?
No, yeah. Well, your second shot is the carry over that huge bunker.
The second shot. Okay.
Have you played Bethpage?
No. Just on video games and whatnot.
So I play a good amount. My favorite thing about Bethpage, I got to go there soon. I might go there next week now that we're talking about it.
Wow.
I love that place. So if you guys want to go, we should set something up. It probably wouldn't be too bad of a drive for you guys. But so like the really cool thing about the 5th hole is that part of the course is hidden. So like 1 comes out, it's a dogleg right down the hill, right off the clubhouse, and that's where the sign is, and like everyone will be watching you. And then 2, you cross the road, and it's kind of like a sneaky little dogleg left uphill par 4, and the 3rd hole is a par 3. Sorry, Bethpage Black number 4. My apologies. Number 4. I said 5. So you can't even see this part of the course until you turn from the 3rd green around these trees, and then it opens up. And it's like the coolest thing in golf, in my opinion. Like the whole course just opens up and you're like, this is sick. And like the hole is just gorgeous. So that's like my probably if I could play that hole every day. And like I don't know, it's like hidden and then it just appears and you're like, whoa, like this is cool. So we should go there, guys, one time. We can definitely
in 100%. It's like a 3-hour drive for us.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad at all. It's actually it's not bad. I had to drive to Farmingdale for work, and I was like, "Do I bring my golf clubs?" I'm like, I'm really thinking about it, but then I did.
Yeah, well, the way to do it will be we'll camp. I'll go early, get a spot because you only need one car, and you just need to be at that car in the morning. You guys could drive down, get there a little bit later. We'll have an early spot, camp out for the night, have a good time, play in the morning. That'd be the way to do it.
I almost want to like have the whole experience. Like, I don't want you to have to wait there by yourself. I almost want to do the whole shebang and get there super early just for the story, you know? Did you really play Bethpage if you didn't camp out in your car?
I agree. It's like, that's part of the experience. You sleep for like 4 hours, you sleep terribly, and then you go play one of the hardest golf courses in the world and it's dewy in the morning. You're tired, it's a little cold, and you just get
you shoot 95 and you have fun.
It's so hard. It's awesome though.
That's cool. I'm in. Wow.
Yeah,
good answer though. I like that. I'm picturing it now. I just looked it up on the map. Oh, almost on the right side is all woods, right?
Yeah, and you could drive through the fairway on that side and go right into those.
Okay. And it on Google Maps, it looks like there's like some sort of like corn maze or like crop circle over on the right side, which is weird. It might just been there when
Oh really?
When they took the picture, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So there's like a crop circle right next to it.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, love the answer. That's good. So our next question, want to save the other one for last, Brendan? The good one for
always
last?
save the last one for last.
All right. So this one is another golf related question. So you were stranded on an island, Ryan. You're stranded on an island. You have unlimited golf balls. Whatever golf ball you play, Pro V1s, TPX, whatever you play, I don't know what you play. You can only bring one club. Which club are you bringing?
Definitely not my driver, definitely not my putter. I get bored.
Bad choice. Poor choice.
On an island. Either that's hard, man. One club, and you're just stuck on the island. You just get one golf club.
You're stuck on an island. I don't know. It could be a year. It could be 10 years. You can only bring one golf club, but you can hit as many balls into the water. You can chip around. You can, I don't know, whatever club you bring on this little island that you got. So you can't like make a golf course. It's tough for a golf designer like yourself to.
I'm taking my 3-iron with me, I think.
3-iron. I love it.
I like it.
Because like I was thinking, my immediate thought was a sand wedge because I like chipping and stuff. But it's like, you ever see the video of John Rahm hitting a flop shot with a 4-iron? It's like, I would just learn how to do that. Learn how to hit some stingers. You can do everything with it. So I would take my 3-iron.
Everything.
And I feel like the 3-iron. So like, spoiler alert, I said putter because I stink at putting and I need to get better at putting. So that's why I did that. But the 3-iron or a long iron for me would probably be a go-to just because I don't hit it well right now. And I feel like that would be like, okay, like we're here for a year. We're going to learn how to compress the ball. Like we're going to learn to do this.
There might not be anything more satisfying than hitting a dynamite 3, a good long iron.
It's the best. It
really is.
Watching a 4-iron is a feeling that I think I've felt 3 times in my entire life. And every time it felt glorious.
It is a very satisfying feeling. You know when you get it too. It's either you don't get it or you get it. And when you get it, it's good.
And when you don't, you don't.
When you don't. Your hands are rattling. You're like, what the fuck was that?
It goes like, it literally just goes whoop, like 20 yards down.
Oh, shit. All right. Now, this one may throw you for a left-hand turn right here, Ryan. Do you think a cake would be more offended to be called a pie, or would a pie be more offended to be called a cake?
I think a cake would be more offended a cake would get more offended being called a pie.
I like it. I like it. That's how most people have been answering on the podcast. We did have the Trill Golf last weekend go pie would be more offended. So now we got to hear it. Now we got to hear why.
The answers are so split. It's unbelievable. It's
Like,
just like,
if I'm a cake, right? Someone goes, you look like a pie. I'd be like, damn. I'd be like, I look pretty fucking shitty. Now, if I was a pie and someone goes, oh, you look like a cake, I'd be like, cakes are pretty good. I must be looking pretty good. So that's my thought right there.
oh, that's incredible.
I like it. Now, the follow-up question that I always have, because I'm a big boy. What do you like better, cake or pie?
Oh, cake, dude, any day.
Oh, no. Pie all the way. Pie you only get very, very special. It's usually Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's it.
That's true. See, like I like pies too. I'm a huge pie guy. But cake, dude, like red velvet cake, I just eat endlessly.
Wow.
We also take out cheesecake because cheesecake, like you can't put cheesecake in here because like most of the time cheesecake is gonna win. Like unless you really don't like cheesecake, I feel like cheesecake almost always wins when it comes to dessert contests. So we're like, cheesecake is here, we take it out. So we only go. Ice cream cake is allowed in the cakes, but we try and stay away from it. But any type of pie.
Brendan, we have to ban cheesecake because cheesecake is a pie and a cake combined.
Combined into one. Yeah, no, you can't. You can't not. We have to ban cheesecake. Cheesecake is banned. And everyone would choose it. It's an unbelievable dessert.
Honestly, I would not choose it, to be honest.
Oh,
I like
man.
Cheesecake, dude, I love cake. I love cake.
He loves the cake guy. So red velvet is your go-to. That cheesecake.
Oh yeah, red velvet. But then if you get like a chocolate cake with vanilla icing, it's just so good.
Ooh, yeah. Now we're talking. I do like that little opposites icing to cake combination. I do like that. Ooh, that's
what are your thoughts on Funfetti cake?
What's Funfetti cake? Like
it's the cake with or confetti cake. Is it confetti cake? It's Funfetti. The cake where they have Funfetti, right?
Yeah.
But I always thought it's the cake with the little thingies inside it.
Sprinkles, it's like
sprinkles and everything that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's good.
It's good.
I enjoy it if I have it, but I wouldn't like.
So
I don't think I'd ever just sit around and be like, I need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So your go-to right now is either a red velvet cake or chocolate cake with vanilla icing.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
so you're a cake connoisseur.
I'm not like, I love desserts, but I'm pretty good at not eating them. My mom is a really good baker, so my mom bakes a cake. I like the chocolate with the vanilla icing, but if I'm out, like maybe the once every 2 years, I'm at like a nice restaurant, red velvet as dessert all day.
Awesome. Are you in or out on carrot cake?
In. It's good, but I'm not a diehard. I'm not a diehard, but it's good.
That was the best in that I think we could. That is like the most carrot cake in where you're just like, I think I'm in. I might be in. Like I'm kind of in. It's like, yeah, carrot cake. Yeah, we'll go with it.
I get behind that.
I swear to God, like sometimes we will go like an entire with this question now, like we have gone like I think down like 35-40-minute rabbit holes just down dessert. So like be very happy, Ryan, that you were so quick with the cake because we have gotten into either heated arguments or like people just wavering on their like because they'll go back and forth the entire time. It's unbelievable.
That carrot cake thing just made my night. That was just that's so funny.
Yeah. That was good. That was good. I like that carrot cake. All right, Ryan. Well, thank you so much, man. We very much appreciate you coming on. It was unbelievable to be able to talk about golf life, golf courses, everything. We really appreciate you coming on, man. Anything you want to shout out before we say goodbye to our lovely listeners?
No, thanks for having me. That was a really good time. That was really, really fun. So, we'll definitely do it again. I gotta get you guys my number too. We should play
Absolutely, man.
We'll play Bethpage for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be sick. Thank you so much, Ryan. We
Shout
appreciate it.
out Bethpage Black.